Hey everybody, I'm live. So last night, where do I begin? Where do I begin, everybody? The giant. Don Bosco. That's a giant 10-foot statue of him. He's patron saint of magicians, of children. I was here early this morning, 6 a.m. before the sun came up. I did an hour-long video here, and it got taken away. Who's with me in chat? Let me know. Now, I did an hour-long video here this morning, and I had mystical experiences and everything, and it wasn't recorded. This is pretty crazy. So, right now, I am on location at a Roman Catholics retreat center. There's 200 acres here, and a sacred grove. Hey, everybody in the chat. So, I am on location here. Standing in front of me is Don Bosco, and I did a video here this morning, and it got cut off, and I had some weird experiences. It was in the dark. Now, when I came here this morning, and let me give you a view. This is just the foothills of these sacred grove here, and the centerpiece. What's up, everybody in the chat room? Yeah, no, this is only the beginning of creepy, everybody. So we have a treat here today. I did it. I'm almost like my energy is taken away a little bit because I did a video here this morning, and oh my god, I had some crazy experiences here. It was in the dark. I wasn't even supposed to be here at that time because the sun wasn't up yet, and it was crazy. Yeah, Mika's my wife in the chat room. That's my wifey, yes. And Ken, I want to make you a moderator eventually of our chats. So listen, everybody. That's my spiral mobile. We're gonna take a little trip here because this morning when I came in, this was all lit up. This little booth, this memory of Don Bosco. Oh, it still is open. This was open this morning and all lit up. It was the only thing lit in this whole 200 acres. This is the only thing that was lit up. Wow, it smells like incense in here. Strong incense. Now, this was all lit up this morning. This is a little booth I'm in, closed off for the weather. This is a little prayer behind Don Bosco. Now, this place, let me describe to you guys what this place is, where I am. It's 200 acres of Roman Catholic Salesian Brothers retreat grounds. And it's my theory that this sacred forest and these grounds are used as a multi-dimensional retreat center for the saints. Now, I believe that the saints are being used by the goddess. They hijacked the goddess energy of Mary, Madonna. It is Diana, Artemis, Astarte. They have hijacked Hecate. They have hijacked the energy of the goddess, and the saints are her warriors. She lives on the blood of the saints. And on certain days of the year, the ember days, these saints go to battle over the energetic locations on our planet. And my family has been involved. My ancestry has been involved in battling over years. And the other night was All Saints Day, All Souls Day. And it's my theory that there was a huge battle, and now the saints are within this forest recovering from a multi-dimensional spiritual battle. And it's my opinion that these whole woods, all these monuments are dedicated to this spiritual war and to maintain the control over this energetic location. My whole body is filled with this smell of incense right now, too. Whoa, that's pretty intense. All right, so we're just at the beginning here. There's something magical about this portrait too. Alright, let's get out of here because we have a lot to explore, everybody. Notice how St. Don Bosco, who I've talked a lot about, we're going to do a lot more about him. Notice how he's 10 feet tall here. And he had children enchanted. He did save many children off the street, but he was enchanting children. And he was the patron saint to many magicians. He liked doing magic. Now all the stones, all the trees in this area are imprinted with sorcery. I can see, now ever since my near-death experience as a kid and my head injury, I can see energy flowing off of things. And sorcery has a certain fingerprint, if you want to say, a certain imprint that it leaves, a certain glow, a certain mist, a certain purplish, reddish mist that vibrates and comes off of items that's been enchanted for protection, for all sorts of reasons. Now we're only at the foothills, man. I wish I would have had the video from this morning. It was so intense. Okay, this is a church. That's right there, one of their churches. There's many churches on these grounds. That one's actually a Korean Catholic church. So we have a gravestone right here. This is a gravestone to all the unborn children that were lost. And notice how there's like a claw mark from a left hand on there. Almost like it's in blood. Pretty intense. So we are only at the foothills now. I can't believe that video. Wait till you guys see what's in this forest. I wish Mika was with me, but she's got the baby with her. She couldn't come with me on this. I'm out running errands, so I stopped here. So, this is the Virgin Mary. Now, like I said, these are all enchanted. At night, this shit comes alive over here. So let me walk you down these hallways. This morning, this is where I started. So let's start again real quick. Hey Ken, how much of Ken Hancock in the chat, how much of the video this morning did you guys hear? Because I did an hour-long almost video, and it got cut off, I see, after a minute. Now you see these hallways, this passageway, and through the trees you see a statue emerging. That is the patron saint of healing, the patron saint of stigmata, the patron saint of bilocation. That is Padre Pio. Now he was a very happy-go-lucky, energetic man, but he also had a very ominous side, a spiritual side that played with magic, played with the sorcery. And he is being used, in my opinion, by the Catholic Church for spiritual warfare. You can see the enchantment in his eyes. Now I feel something is going to happen today, definitely. We might even see a UFO or something like that. They do appear around the Mary. Not that Mary. You're going to see what Mary I'm talking about soon. And for those who want the repeat of this, and for more information, please subscribe at patreon.com/themysticalspiral. And I have other videos of this location there. They actually, you guys just saw Don Bosco, the statue. They actually have a replica birth ritual house of Don Bosco here. The house he was born in, Beachy, they made it over brick by brick. And it's here. And I've gotten into it before. You see all this stuff hanging on the trees? That is Fae worship. In honor of the Fae. And behind me, that over there, where we're going to go in a minute, is some of the most enchanted woods you've ever seen. So let's move on. Now, the next place we're going to go behind us. Now, Padre Pio stands as a warrior over these hills, over this forest. Now, the next place we're going to go, before you get to Mary, they have stone circles and stone monuments, each one enchanted with a different mantra for Mary. Now, with Mary, there's many different prayers or spells or mantras that are said with Mary. And she's become the goddess. She's become Diana. And not only do they have the Holy Rosary dedicated to Mary, but they have many different prayers. They have the 5 joyful mysteries and the 5 sorrowful mysteries. They have the Assumption prayers. All sorts of prayers. And you see, we're surrounded by stone monuments and stone circles, and all of these are imprinted with energetic spells and protection spells and all sorts of information. And stones are fossils, so these are all fossils of the ancient ones. There's so much here, so much to go through. And you can see that brick building right there in the back, that brick house. That's the Beachy House of Don Bosco. We'll get there in a minute in the foreground. You'll see. Now, if you see in front of us, there's stone circles. There's standing stones. All these monuments leading up to Mary. See all those stones just placed in certain areas? They're actually lined. And you know, I'm going to share some interesting information with you guys, actually. All these trees are soldiers protecting these grounds, every one of them. And I'm going to share something that happened to me the other night while you guys are here. Now, on October 30th, the night before, 2 nights before All Saints Day, All Souls Day, where I think they had this spiritual battle, where all these saints are recovering on different planes of existence that are running simultaneously with us right now in these woods. There's different dimensions of this area where the saints are recovering from the battle. No doubt in my mind. I know it. I feel it. You see all these standing stones, protection circles. They are all here with us. And it's my opinion that some of the saints go back into the statues and into the stones. And you'll see a lot of times in history, ancient dolmens, like the dolmen of King Arthur, they're talked about as hiding sleeping giants within the rocks for when the world needs them again. And this is what I think is taking place at this location. And you notice that these statues, and you know, I'm not going up to every one right now because it's not really the point. See all these standing stones? These are in circles too. And probably linked to certain stars. Now I've been doing a lot of research that other people have done as well, but I take my own approach with Mount Hermon. And now it's my opinion, and Mount Hermon is 33 degrees longitude, I think 33 degrees north. It's my opinion, and actually Roswell is on the same line, is 33 degrees as well as the Cesar Chavez Park in Long Beach, where I had my experience, is also 33 degrees, and that's pretty interesting. Now, that 33 of Mount Hermon, see, Mount Hermon is just not one, most people think Mount Hermon is a mountain. It's actually a mountain range, and there's 3 main peaks of Mount Hermon, and in my opinion, I think they're linked to the 3 stars of Orion's belt. And the UN, United Nations, have one of their main outlook points on the top of Mount Hermon, where these watchers first touch down. And you see these faces on these statues are not human. Pronounced third eye, they are not human looking. And there's a Casa Antare on top of Mount Hermon, and I think it's linked to Antares. Now, there's some energetic portal gateways that are linked between stone monuments and the stars to add a stargate from one location to the other. And I believe that's what Mount Hermon is, and I believe that's what certain locations are that are mentioned in Revelation, the 7 congregations. I talked about it on my show last week with Ephesius. That location is linked to the Pleiades, the 7 sisters. So, you see that brick house behind us is the Beachy house. We'll get there, don't worry. And you see before us is the goddess, standing with the platform almost 60 feet tall. And she stands as the queen of the sacred grove, the queen of the heavens, the queen of the witches, the queen of the fae, and the queen of the forest. She stands over the forest as the queen, waiting to reanimate. Now, the most intense thing we're going to find in these woods is the gateway to the woods. Now, in my opinion, my theory is that this gateway is linked to the reanimation of this statue and the goddess, where this goddess comes out of this statue, her spiritual body, multi-dimensional anchor of energy, her spiritual portrayal of her comes out of this statue and walks into the forest. Now, at the gateway of this forest, they have 2 pillars and 2 watchers or fallen angels suspended in the air, holding a crown just high enough to crown this Mary, as if she walked off that pedestal and walked into the woods. They're holding a crown in the air for her. It's intense. Now you see all these stones, these huge stones, they are all, I see energy coming off of them. I can see red and purplish just vibing off of them. They are all imprinted with a boundary. This is all protected. Anyone trying to do harm to the saints will not be able to enter this area. And the weathering on these stones are so old. Now each one of this circle of monuments that are surrounding Mary, and you see where we are? The crossroads of Hecate, the crossroads of Astarte, the crossroads of Lilith, the crossroads right before the goddess of the crossroads. And you know, the goddess Diana that you see before us, or the Madonna, one of her symbols is the bow and arrow. And the throat area comes the mantras. Now, there has been many mystical relics associated with arrows going through the throat of the Madonna. The Black Madonna in Poland has a scar on her throat that no artist can get rid of. And during the parade for the Virgin of Guadalupe, somebody was shot through the neck with a Tartar's arrow. And he was resurrected from the dead when the arrow was pulled out in front of the Virgin of Guadalupe relic. And then I come here and I see this 60-foot tall Madonna, and I find a pentagram on her throat. The same place arrows have marked. Now we're going to be silent for a second as we take this in. And watch as we get to the Madonna, how she has black tears running from her eyes. A pentagram on her throat. If this isn't the most exciting live video that anybody can do, I don't know what is. I smell weed. Somebody's smoking weed somewhere around here. Each one of these has spirits protecting these statues, and inside of the statues, this is the Annunciation mantra. The watcher before Mary. And you see where we are. All these and rocks, soldiers guarding the fortress. This is the Franciscan Friars, the Brothers Retreat Center. And we're only at the foot. This is the beginning of the forest. This is what lurks over the forest. Now, I'm going to share something with you guys before we walk up to the monument. Something that has to do with the spiritual war. Now, the other night on October 30th, I was so exhausted from work that I went to sleep. I had a book that was sent to me that is a collection of all of Aleister Crowley's works called The Gems of the Equinox. Now, the gem, look at the horns. You got the baby Jesus and horns. Halos and horns. Halos and horns. So, the other night I came home from bed and I was exhausted, and I had this book that's over 1,000 pages of magical workings of Aleister Crowley. Now, I hadn't even cracked the book open to read anything yet from it. It was laying beside me on the bed. It looks like the Magi or something. So, man, these statues really look like they're about to reanimate, some of them. I'm telling you, man. Now, I was laying on the bed. I haven't even cracked open the book. And I started to sleep and dream. And I had an intense dream. Realities opened up in the room. The whole room. I was watching myself sleeping on the bed in my dream. And the whole room was vibrating and shaking. And there were these demonic entities crawling at me on the bed. And they looked like they were dressed in Jewish attire. They were crawling, and their faces were all demonic looking. They were crawling at me on the bed, and I saw myself sleeping on the bed, and as they were getting closer to me, I was screaming at them, like, get away! And as I screamed at each one, you know how a newborn baby has that soft spot on their head? Well, a door opened up on that spot in their heads, and all this weird light and weird garbage came out of it, and they disintegrated. And then I saw myself still sleeping on the bed, and the book was flying open and the pages were spinning, and then it opened up to a certain spot in the book, and it was this picture of this thing that looks like a gray alien. Aleister Crowley called it Lamb, which is a name for wisdom, a Tibetan wisdom name, and it looks like a gray alien, this thing, and it was open on to that page in the book. And then in my mind I saw like that being just sitting there watching me. And then when I woke up for real, Michelle Mika comes in there and she's yelling, you were screaming in your sleep that ghosts were around you and all this. So then I go to look in the book. I can't find the picture that I found. Finally, I find the picture at the end of the book of this being Lamb. I have it back at the car. Now, in my understanding, there's been a lot of members of the OTO and Temple of Set and all these other places, these satanic clubs and covens that do rituals to this being. Rituals while they're butt naked praying to this being Lamb. And then November 1st, All Souls Day, All Saints Day, Leo Zagami, my buddy Leo's book arrives. His book was released that day, and I got it the day it was released. He sent it to me. And what do I open the book up and what do I see? A picture of that same being arrives at my house. And they talk about it in that book as well. And I had no prior knowledge that he had that being in the book. So what I did skip over here, and if you go to my Patreon, patreon.com/mysticalspiral, you can see it. Actually, on YouTube, I have, for free, everybody, a video from this very location, I'm not here, talking about the Dionysus statue. And it is right over here. Now, Dionysus, I talked about, was represented by statues with no arms, because he was dismembered and eaten by the satellites, the Titans. And they have 2 monuments in this location that are Dionysus worship. One of them is right there. could see Jesus portrayed with no arms. I'll show you. Now, a quick story about Dionysus. He was a baby, son of Zeus, the bastard son of Zeus, or Juno. And Hera didn't like it. So when Zeus left, when he left his crown and his throne and his scepter to his young child, Dionysus. But he didn't trust Hera while he was gone. So he left the baby into the care of his guards. Now the guards were lured and bribed by Hera. And she bribed the guards to leave the baby alone. As soon as the baby was alone, her satellites attacked the Titans. They dismembered the baby. They boiled his body and mixed it with some herbs so it tastes better, and ate him. And then he was resurrected from the dead by Polyaenus. And he's always portrayed with no arms, like you see here. Like a tree rising with no branches, resurrecting from the dead. Dionysus. Ascension. This is right here at a Roman Catholic retreat center. Imagine that. So now let's go to the Mary, to the Madonna, to the goddess Diana, as she stands over the forest as the queen of the forest. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, yeah, I don't need I have protection, trust me. And I see in the chat room, Ken, was the beast talking to Aleister Crowley. Was like his holy guardian angel. Was somebody that he was channeling during the Book of the Law. That he did the Book of the Law while he was in the pyramids and all of that. Somebody was speaking to him, and I believe it to be the beast himself, his holy guardian angel, Aleister Crowley. Now you see what stand before me, a very ominous, over 50 feet tall, on top of this star platform, rising from the Pleiades, is the Madonna. Now let's see if we can see her pentagram from here. Hold on. Yeah, you can see it. Clear as day. The pentagram on her throat. Her throat chakra, where all these mantras come from. Where the arrows entered. Look at the pentagram, very faint on her neck. Look at the tears, the black tears dripping from her eyes. The pentagram traced on her neck. Now, once a year, they have a fire truck come here, and a priest goes up there to crown her with flowers. So it's very quite possible a priest had put that pentagram up there on her neck. Look at that. There's many sigils and symbols all throughout her body. Just like the Statue of Liberty. Blessed and enchanted by the Pope. Standing as the queen over the forest. Now wait, because we're just entering the most haunted, enchanted forest. Now I'm intimately connected to these woods. You see that fence down there? Now, if you jump over that fence and go about 100 yards down the hill, you're at the door of my parents' house. So, I'm intimately connected to these woods since I'm a boy. And I've witnessed the hijack of this energetic location. And it's taken me 40 years to come up with this theory that the saints are gathered here after battles for recovery. A multi-dimensional retreat center. Look at that. That doesn't happen by accident. Pentagrams don't happen in nature. Now let's take a walk. Whoa, that tree is luring me right there. That tree is definitely luring me right there. What is going on here? I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a bright green energy coming off of this tree. Okay, so this is a dolmen. Even though it's very small, this is actually a dolmen. Whoa, okay, so we have a saint here on the ground. And in my opinion, this doesn't happen by weather, because these things are like 1,000 pounds. Look, you can even see there's pulleys on this thing. They couldn't even get it back up with belts. Yeah, this thing is fucking heavy. You can't even move this shit. And that looks like St. Jude or St. Francis of Assisi clutching the crucifix, and he's on the ground here, knocked over, like somebody barreled into it. And you're right in front of the houses of the friars. This is where they live, the Salesians. So they're well aware of this. And you see, that's a dolmen right there. Even though it's very small to the ground, it's a monolithic altar. Yeah. Want to hear something interesting that goes along with this is that a lot of times in Santeria and in old-time Catholicism, Roman Catholics, they will pray to the saints for things. And Santeria is called the collection of saints. Now, they will pray to the saints for certain things. And if what they prayed for doesn't actually come true for them, they'll punish the saint, either by putting the saint in the closet or throwing him down in the dirt, putting him face down in the mud. I forgot my book I was carrying here. On here, you see, look at this book. I brought it with me. This is the Imitation of Mary. They have all the different prayers to Mary, all the different mantras to Mary. And then they have all the different mantras to go along. And you see what we just passed through? The 5 glorious mysteries and the 5 luminous mysteries. We just passed all that. Oh, the trees can talk, Linda, and we're going to see that today. We're going to see that today, because you haven't witnessed the energy of the trees, the electromagnetic energy of the trees. Now, all trees have a positive auric field. Auric fields of trees are the most similar to human auric fields as any other, from any other animal or mineral or anything that's on our earth. Trees are the most similar to our auric fields. Some of them might be more dense than others, but they are very similar to our auric field. Trees are alive energetically. Some of them can accumulate energy. The oak is the most powerful, in my opinion, of the trees. Now, what we're walking up onto is the Black Jesus, I call. And the monks all live in these houses here. Now, look at this. This statue is guarding one of their main chapels where I had the spirit experiences with the red orbs. Look at this. Check this out. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see something in the sky. This morning I saw an orb of light coming out of the trees. I got on camera and all, but something happened. Look at this, everybody. I can't get any closer. The ultimate shaman right there. Now, he stood at the foot of Mount Hermon. And when Joseph, I think it was Joseph who said, "You are the Son of God," he was very happy there standing on Mount Hermon, because he knew that was the place. That was the Stargate of the Watchers. Now, it's also my opinion that the 3 peaks of Mount Hermon are somehow linked to the 3 points of the Giza pyramids. Now, this is an outdoor chapel, outdoor church, where I experienced those red orbs that surrounded me a few weeks ago. If you go on my Patreon, patreon.com/themysticalspiral, you can find that video. And please, guys, for the price of 1 Big Mac a month, you can join my Patreon. There's 20 of you right now who could join if you're not already on there. And I could do these types of things full time every day if I had more supporters. Working 50 hours a week in a horrible warehouse is not helping me with my spiritual mission at all. But I have a baby and a family to take care of, and mortgage to pay, and all that stuff going on. So we have to do this. We have to make it so we can relay information. And you see, oh my God, I just passed. I had to turn around because I felt it. That tree was talking to me. These are all soldiers standing guard. There is an entity in this tree. Oh my God, I feel it. It's standing there. It's about 10 feet tall. This before us is a warrior. You could see his face at the top, pushing out, almost pushing out of the tree. This tree is imprinted. I know most people watching this video right now, I'm like, this guy is crazy. But no, this tree is imprinted with energy, and there's a being encased within this tree. I can see it. Towards the top of the screen is his eyes pushing out. I could see as he rests, his head is down. His eyes are closed. Almost ram-like. Wow, this is amazing. These are warriors. Each one of these trees are guardians. No, Ken, you won't get charged extra. Actually, you only get charged once at the first of the month. And if you sign up for like $8 today, you don't get charged till, you won't even get charged at $8 till December 1st. So it's like, it's really worth it. This is the chapel where I experienced those red orbs. And you see, it's just one thing after another here. They have the ultimate protection on these grounds. And that birth ritual house of Don Bosco we're going to go to, I mean, when I walk up to it, I can basically hear Soundgarden in the background. Ritual! That friggin' song from Soundgarden, Birth Ritual. Every time I walk up to that house, I can hear it. Oh, thank you so much, Linda. That is so helpful. It's really helpful, you guys. I can do stuff like this every day if people donated. I see guys talking babble about politics and sports, and people sending fights, and then after the fight, some chump that never did martial arts in his life, somebody sending him $100 just to talk, $150, $100. He's making like $500 just to talk for an hour. And then you got me relaying true spiritual information, trying to help people awaken. And then this stuff happens. Whoa, Blue Star Nebula is amazing. Linda House is amazing. Everybody, if anybody wants to donate $25 or more, I will do a reading on them privately. I will send them email reading privately. $50 or more, I will do an hour psychic spiritual reading as a deal on Skype. I usually do $100 for an hour spiritual reading, but if anybody wants to donate now for $50, I will do a special reading for them. But this is not about money right now. Let's not talk about money now. Let's just do this. Love you too, sis. Brother. I don't know why I thought Blue Star 22 Nebula is a woman, but if not, then brother, I love you too. So I was up on the altar the other day when this happened. I gotta get back to my family soon, so we're gonna go into the forest now. But see how the dome, these domes are accumulator of energy. Wow, Ken, thank you. Thank you, brother Ken. Ken, wait till you see, there's over, now if somebody subscribes to my Patreon now for the $8 a month, there's almost 300 posts that you can unlock. And you know, Ken, you've been such a good supporter, Ken. Since you supported me and you subscribed to my $8 Patreon, email me privately and I'll send you some of the higher up videos for the $21 a month and stuff like that that I've had, because there's only been a few. I've only had a few subscribers that have been like 21 a month or 100 a month or 50 a month or whatever those platforms are. So some of the higher up, like some of my deep meditation experiences and some of my meditation techniques. Whoa, this tree. I have that on some of my Patreon. And there's some intense videos on there that only a dozen people in the world have seen, because Jules, really? Yeah, this is really, this is this is one of my most favorite places in the world. That's why I don't want to portray it as a place of evil. It's just that there's been a battle within the church. All organized religion has become bad. It has become about money. And the worship has been hijacked by materialism and the Lucifer rebellion. This physical realm has become about greed, and it's taken over the church as well. Now, there's a lot of good spirituality in this place, but the energy of these trees, the energy of these monuments have all been hijacked, have all been taken. The retreat, are you looking for the gift shop or like? Retreat center for DLD. Oh, yeah. You'll see it's either this building or the next building. I think it might be that building. You'll see there's like a picture, if you open the door, there's the Pope. There's a picture of the Pope standing right there with like kids. Okay. You'll see it's one of these buildings. Let me see if it's this building. Yeah, it's beautiful. Even the woods, there's a whole bunch of woods behind here that have all monuments in the woods and everything. Yeah, I grew up here. I live right on the other side. Yeah. I actually went to nursery school here too. Really? Yeah. It is. But the gift shop is down that way. If you can't find it, I would ask the ladies in there.
Actually, we're staying there over the weekend. So.
Really?
Yeah. We're looking for cars because there should be like at least 6, 7, 8 cars.
There's a big church over there. It's like a Korean Catholic church, I think. Yeah. That's probably where they parked.
Okay. But there should be a lot of rooms with 4 floors.
Oh, you're staying here?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 floors.
Yeah, I would go to the house and ask them there. All the brothers live at that house. They would definitely know.
Is this Marion?
This is Don Bosco Marian Shrine.
Is it Marion's brothers that live here?
This is the Salesians. Salesians, yeah, they're Salesians. They're Don Bosco Salesians. Sorry, everybody. Can't believe I had so much information about this place. All right, so where was I going now? They're staying, see, there's people come and retreat here for the weekend. That gave me a lot of information. Yo, we're right on ley lines, everybody. We're right on the ley lines here. This is why these stones, these stone walls and these monuments and these trees are in certain locations. All the lines of trees and the lines of stones, it's not for a reason. It's not for, you know, a lot of times these stone walls in this area, I even have one in my backyard. Originally they said, oh, they've been here before the 1600s because they were here for cattle and boundaries. Bullshit. They are on ley lines. These stones, they're not put together with cement and all types of concrete filling. They're put together perfectly to fit there for hundreds, if not 1,000 years. All right, so this is where I wanted to walk. Now, guys have heard me a little bit talk about Dominic Savio. Dominic Savio was a 15-year-old kid that was under the tutelage of Don Bosco, who died under spiritual sickness. So, that's the picture of the Pope inside there. That's what I was talking about. Now, I was approached not too long ago to work for the Catholic Church as a, I guess you would call like a mystic or an advisor. They wanted me to work basically as a psychic for the church. Now, he believed in death but not sin. This young boy would rather die before sinning. And that's exactly what happened at the age of 15. A lot of controversy over making him a saint as well, being that he never achieved anything and he was just a young boy. Look at that. There it is. Death but not sin, his motto. Boy would carry a crucifix with him everywhere. Now, in my opinion, Don Bosco got this kid killed. He took the kid under his wing. He taught him some spiritual... I think he taught him some magic, some sorcery. He was grooming this kid to become a saint. To become a pure one in their eyes. To become uncorrupted. Can't take your eyes off of this. Wait till you see. Now, I don't know if anybody has just joined the chat, but I was talking about... What's everybody talking about? I hope nobody's arguing in my chat room. Jules and Ken, you're not arguing, are you? Please, do not argue. This is a place of fun and learning and remembrance. We could fight with our families. Don't fight with each other on here. Fight with the ones you really love. You know, when you get so pissed off at somebody, mostly it's because you have feelings for them. So, remember that. So we're gonna go to the woods, guys. And now, it's my theory that the gateway of these woods, and we're gonna go to the birth ritual house of Don Bosco. Now everybody, say your prayers, say your protection spells now before we walk into the woods, because what you're about to witness is an enchanted forest. Have you ever seen an enchanted forest live on video before? Well, then you will now. This morning I was here in the dark by myself at like 6:30 a.m. So intense what I saw in these woods. These trees are guardians. These trees are soldiers standing over this forest. There's her 4 floors back there. That's what they're talking about. That's where the children... Yeah, here they go. See all these brick houses? This area is connected to the famous, infamous, haunted location, Ledgeworth Village, which is right down the street from here. Ledgeworth Village had hundreds, if not thousands, of dead, mentally retarded children that were disposed of in these woods. That people did lobotomies on, all sorts of crazy brain experiments that they did. All the way up, literally, to the 1980s. Ledgeworth Village is a whole nother place. Now you see how she's standing over here as the queen over the forest. The forest right behind her, this enchanted forest, and she's standing there. Now I don't know who just joined or if anybody just joined, but you probably didn't hear my theory. It's my theory that all of these are imprinted and locked in with the energy of saints and the goddess, and they all reanimate their spiritual bodies from these statues. Now she's standing as the queen over the forest here, and if she reanimated, turned around and walked into the woods, then you're gonna see the gateway of these woods literally have two angels 50 feet in the air, just high enough for her, and they're holding a crown, waiting to crown her as she walks into the entrance of the forest. Two angels literally hovering over two pillars as the gateway to the forest, and they're holding a crown in the air to crown their queen of the heavens, who's living on the blood of the saints. They're holding their crown for her for when she reanimates and walks into the woods. So let's go to this gateway. Who's with me? Who's down? Who's clutching their teddy bears right now? And you see that brick building in the background? That is the birth ritual house of John Bosco, Saint Don Bosco. The Beachy house. Brick by brick replica of the Beachy house he was born in Italy. And that is a very haunted location. They've actually have offerings inside there. They've lit the house on fire before. And when I got there this morning, I saw the place that was lit on fire last time, they re-boarded up the windows. And I found a way in last time. One window was not bolted. These guardian trees, these warrior trees, providing a canopy for the forest. And there's countless shrines. See all the stone on the ley lines? There's countless shrines here. The Fatima shrine is coming up right now. This is the Beachy house. All right, we'll stop here real quick before we go in the forest. This is intense, everybody. So intense. Okay, so this is the Beachy house. Wow, I feel something behind me. That was very weird. I just felt like something took a breath near my ear. So this is the Beachy house. This is an authentic brick and tile replica of Don Bosco's humble home in Castelnuovo, Beachy, Piedmont, Italy. St. John Bosco lived from 1815 to 1888, and he is the founder of the Salesian family, the priest, the brother who served the church in over 127 countries around the world. Now, let me add that I was talking about the bow and arrow the arrow going through the throat from a Tartar's arrow from the Virgin of Guadalupe parade. 9 million people were converted that day to Catholicism. All of the miracles and the resurrections that performed by saints over all the years have done mass conversions. This is the whole reason for the miracle programming. See? This is a very haunted house, everybody. Those top two windows that are boarded up, they were holes 2 weeks ago. Burnt alive. They was lit on fire. I could hear the Soundgarden song, Birth Ritual. Ritual! I can hear that in the background right now as I'm looking at this house. This is a birth ritual house, used for rituals for Don Bosco to evoke his energy. They're all boarded up, but I did find a way in. There are people around here right now. It's broad daylight, so I don't really want to go inside right now. But if you guys see, it's 2 stories. Fuck it, I'm going to try to get inside. Fuck it, we're going to get inside here. I brought a flashlight with me too. You see they're all boarded up and locked, bolted. Everything's bolted. But if you guys see, if we go around the side, this is a real house. Look at this. Stairs going upstairs. Shit on the walls inside. Pictures on the walls. Now, last time I was here, I did find one way in. And I made sure this morning I could still get in. It's a very small window right here. All right. I'm getting in. You guys still with me? I'm inside. I'm inside. Whoa, dude, I just caught a chill. There's another room right here. That's a door to outside. Look at this shit. Offerings on the floor of stones and gourds. Corn. There's an outlet in here. What the fuck? This room provided shelter for sheep and chickens. Look at even the ceiling is tiled. What the fuck, dude? Something... Yo, I gotta get out of here. Because I'm feeling weird. I hope I'm not locked in here now. Dude, it's gonna be fucking hard getting out of this shit. That is glued there. All right, I gotta put my phone down for a second, guys. Oh, I made it out. I don't think anybody saw me either. Holy shit. Wow. We're up on the second floor right now. I can't see in. Oh shit, I can see in. What the fuck is going on in there? That's a bed? A cross on the bed? What the fuck? Whoa, I need to get in there. All right, let me go downstairs. That's on the second story. Wow, we gotta come back here at night. This is crazy. Whoa. Somebody talking about my wife in there. What's up? Look at this house. Whoa. Hey, Tia. If anybody's looking to donate, it definitely helps out. We could do more of these every day. I gotta start taking Mika with me on this and put the baby on our back. Strap her to us. You know, my child's name, Tana. Tana is the goddess of the stars. You trust in goddess of the stars. Look at, like on Mount Calvary. You can see the Jesus on the cross, like Mount Calvary right there. And all these guardian trees. Megalithic rocks. You don't even notice. We have megalithic rocks right here. People just walk by them like it's nothing. See this? This is like a 50-ton rock right there. These are all imprinted with protection. These grounds are recovery grounds for spiritual battles that the saints are in. They have been battling over to keep the control over energetic locations all over the world. Now we're walking through the woods. We're going to see the gateway with the crown for the Queen Nephilim. The queen of the Rephaim, and her watchers holding the crown. This morning I saw a snake on the floor right outside my door at the house too. This has been a very interesting morning. You can see all the standing stones everywhere, all in strategic places. Every one of these trees have energy flowing off of them. Yeah, it's very likely prehistoric, you're right, and very likely that the Hudson River was once as far as where we are right now. That's where all these monster stones coming from, because they're like whales and fucking sea creatures and shit. These woods are so enchanted. Benai Elohim. I can feel the saints. Hear my rhymes. And make yourself known each time. Because we are at the Fatima Shrine. And you can see the 3 Fatima. How crazy is this place? How amazing is this? And you know, Mount Hermon, and it's interesting to talk about, you know, Jesus Christ being the Lord of the shepherds. So was Pan. Pan was the god of the shepherds. And there's a interesting legend with Mount Hermon with Pan as well. Three children of Fatima. They killed Rosalia over the 3rd secret. Killed her. Replaced her. Now here we go, everybody. Now this is the main reason why I came to the woods, and we're going to close this in about 5-10 minutes. But this is the main reason. We always save the best for last. And you would think the Mary, the giant... Look at that pile of... What? Why is that pile of wood is right there? Why is that there? It's like a bonfire. And you'll see in the wood, in these trees, there won't be any Fae worship right here until you get past the gate. Once you get past the gate, all the trees and rocks all have like stuffed animals on them, trinkets, little prayers and spells. Yeah, they replaced the nun Rosalia. They took the three children that experienced Fatima. There were 3. She experienced... I can't go to the whole story right now. But the Fatima experience, there were 3 children that she came to. And 2 of them died very quickly after. Now, the gate of the forest is behind me. I'm not going to go into it until we finish this little quick story. The 2 children died really quickly after this experience. The 3rd child became a nun. They took her into the monasteries. And she said she couldn't reveal the 3rd secret to 1960. Now, she started to get sick in the late 50s. And they made her write down the secret. And she wanted to reveal it to the world in 1960, but the secret was so horrifying to the popes and the bishops and everybody, they didn't want to reveal it. So they basically killed the nun and put another one in her place. And nobody in the world had seen this nun too many times. There's only like 5 pictures of her known because they kept her in seclusion. So they were able to replace this lady over it. So now, you guys have heard me talk about the gateway to the forest, holding the crown for the Rephaim. We're gonna go there now, right standing before us. And look, this pathway here is literally like the pet cemetery. It's a pathway that leads to unmarked graves that are connected to Ledgeworth Village. Look at these giant stones here. Monuments just in the middle of the woods. And here we're walking up on one of the most... You're welcome, sweetie. Save the other jelly donut for me. Okay, here we are at the gateway to the forest, where the Queen of the Heavens, the Madonna, will reanimate and accept her crown as she walks into the woods. Here we stand at the gateway of the sacred grove. All the saints, make yourself aware that we know I am here. Look at them, standing, floating in the air on top of the pillars, holding the crown for their goddess, the queen of the woods, the queen of the fae. Ave Maria. That crown is just high enough to crown that Mary if she reanimates and walks off that star platform. Look at this woods. Now, once we walk into the woods, you will start to feel the enchantment of the trees and the stones. Look at this ominous gateway. Is this amazing or what? Now these woods go about 200 acres. Look at this. The joyful mysteries, the gloriful, sorrowful mysteries. Remember I told you? I showed you in the book all the mantras dedicated to that. I have this book with me, and you'll see they have mantras set up for all of these 5 glorious mysteries, sorrowful mysteries. My phone's about to die, so we got to do this quick. Now you'll see, as soon as we walk into the forest, the energy has changed. Look at that snake See the snake in the ground? There's like where the shrubbery, you don't see green, there's like a snake path. See that snake path leading to another Dionysus statue. Look at another statue of Jesus with no arms right there. That's not by coincidence. Right in the middle of the woods here, look at these. Now this is very interesting here, because when I came here a couple weeks ago, there was only one ritual on this stone. Now there are several, and I think they're representing the saints that are recovering after their battle. One of them is laying on their belly, the others are sitting up, one is slumped, and I think they are spells, healing spells for the saints. And this is what I'm talking about. And you see that there is stuff in the trees everywhere, trinkets in the trees. Look at this. Now, none of this exists until you walk past the gate. Once you get past this gate, there are all these little spells and trinkets on the rocks. I think each one of these teddy bears represents a saint in recovery right now. They weren't here a few days ago. The only thing that was there was this Mary. Now every one of these trees are gateways, warriors. Every one of these rocks are imprinted with energy. This whole wood, this goes 200 acres in there. And you could see, look. See the teddy bear in the tree? And that one looks pretty ominous, actually. Let's check this out. This is worship, fae worship. Whoa, okay. This is a teddy bear with no nose and no mouth. It could see the evil, but it can't speak it or hear it or smell it. It's like a golem. Whoa. Okay, this is some sort of Stargate. That is a seat connected to the tree. Look at that seat. Or like you put your knees right here and your prayer right here. Like some sort of altar or seat. It's actually connected to the tree. Whoa, this is some sort of dimensional gate. For sure. I know people watching this right now will be like, oh, that guy's crazy. But no. I feel it and I see it. It's molded into that tree, fitting perfectly. It's like a seat. Look at that. That's like a seat. It's almost like a throne. It's some sort of... What was that? They like when you rhyme, these entities. Wow, that's the same bear, but with a mouth and nose. Interesting. What the hell? And my battery is low, guys, and it's starting to pouring rain now. But there's so much more to see here. So much more to experience in these woods. And to think this is all behind the Mary and all those monuments that we just saw. All linked to there. And there's like gravestones here. All sorts of stuff within these woods that if you start to look, like back there, there's a gravestone right there. See it? That's a gravesite. There's like little grave sites in here. Whoa. Whoa, this shit is crazy in here. Feel the auric field of the trees while all the saints are on their knees. Let yourself be known to us. Speak into the voice of the wind and let you know that I come with a grin. No bad intentions. Too many questions to mention. Wow, the wind is picking up now, and the rain as soon as I said that. You can hear it. Look at this standing stone. Wow, how old this stone is. This stone feels like hundreds of thousands of years old. It really does. It's pouring right now. What is that over there? I gotta get out of here. I'm getting filthy. I've never even walked this way. My phone's about to die. I can't believe we're in these woods right now. Well, we're gonna close with this. Right in the middle of the woods here. Son, why hast thou done so to us? Behold thy father, and I have sought thee sorrowing. Luke 2:48. What the hell? Creepy as fuck sitting here in the woods. And what is that behind us? What is that behind us? A Knights Templar cross. Spiral out.